Iraqi Dinar Today latest news. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to what could be one of the most significant broadcasts we have ever presented on this channel. The air is thick with anticipation, and the global financial community has shifted its focus sharply toward the unfolding monetary situation in Iraq. We are receiving insistent and highly credible updates from interconnected sources, people deep within the financial architecture, who are collectively issuing a profound warning. A specific, narrow 2-week window is now open, and it is crucial for every holder of the Iraqi dinar. This period, they insist, is not merely another cycle of rumors, but the actual activation sequence for a major change in Iraq's currency standing. It suggests that years of meticulous planning, regulatory maneuvering, and economic preparation may finally be crystallizing into tangible action. This is a moment that feels distinctly different from the countless false alarms and unfulfilled promises that have marked the dinar story for over a decade. The sheer weight of insider confirmation points to an operational readiness never before witnessed. Our contacts are reporting that the mechanism for full-scale disbursement and settlement is moving toward a live environment. This means that within the next 14 days, actual monetary value could begin flowing through international banking frameworks, directly tied to the new financial architecture of the Iraqi dinar. It is no longer a conversation centered purely on conjecture or optimistic hope, but on verifiable digital synchronization within the world's most powerful financial networks. We will be meticulously dissecting the specifics of this synchronization, the warnings being issued by those on the inside, and precisely what this imminent shift may represent for those who have patiently held this currency over the long term. A deep-seated transformation is occurring at the very core of Iraq's economic foundation, distinguishing this current period from the many prior instances where action seemed imminent but failed to materialize. Crucially, the Central Bank of Iraq has reportedly finalized all phases of a comprehensive monetary reform agenda. This reform includes the successful integration of Iraq's financial systems with major regional payment platforms, alongside the activation of live, real-time rate feeds that connect directly to international banking systems. This technical detail is paramount. The rates being observed by banking professionals globally are no longer static, speculative placeholder values, nor are they part of an isolated simulation environment. They are dynamic and operationally ready for activation, a clear technical signal that the necessary financial infrastructure to support a full transition is not only built but is fully functional and live across the globe. The testing phase that plagued earlier efforts appears to be definitively concluded. Sources confirm that the system, which previously displayed unchanging locked exchange rates, is now showing measurable movement and adjustment in response to global market indicators. This is not simply word-of-mouth chatter. It is characterized as digital evidence of system readiness. This operational pivot is the central reason why the upcoming 2-week period has attracted such intense, focused attention from financial centers worldwide. The shift from a simulated environment to an active, market-sensitive system marks a critical point of no return for the entire process, effectively setting the stage for what comes next. What is currently transpiring behind the high-security walls of financial institutions points to an unprecedented level of internal preparation. We understand that the Central Bank of Iraq has subtly initiated a fixed 2-week time frame for a complete internal synchronization between its own financial institutions and a carefully selected group of international banking partners. This synchronization involves the meticulous alignment of digital ledger systems, the comprehensive updating of settlement codes used for interbank transfers, and the critical finalization of liquidity channels required to move massive volumes of funds across borders efficiently. Simply stated, the entire global network is making final preparations to move real, high-value currency. For months, the conversations focused on preparatory technical steps, abstract concepts like software updates, cryptic code entries, and theoretical system tests. However, the internal reporting now indicates that those technical exercises have given way to the actual activation of core financial systems. The term circulating among banking professionals is the distribution phase. This phase is the crucial operational step that immediately precedes a public exchange, and it involves the strategic prepositioning of necessary funds within verified, secure financial institutions globally. The completion of this distribution phase will trigger the next major milestone, the release of public notifications, marking the official commencement of the exchange process for individual holders. This 2-week countdown is now underway, and its progression is being watched with extraordinary scrutiny. The distribution of value is not expected to be a single, sudden event, but rather a structured, phased rollout designed for stability and control. The first phase involves early disbursements to major pre-approved entities, such as large contract holders and humanitarian program participants who have undergone extensive vetting and clearance. Following this initial wave, the process is expected to move to the next key group, the individual, smaller holders, often referred to as Tier 4B, who are anticipated to begin receiving official notifications and appointment scheduling instructions. From that point, the process moves into the wider public exchange window. This is the stage where authorized verified international banks, including major names like Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, HSBC, and Barclays, will begin managing the actual redemption appointments for the general public. Each completed phase acts as a trigger for the subsequent one, and the entire sequence has a projected working timeline aiming for a full transition within approximately 14 days from activation. This critical 14-day period is not simply a casual suggestion. It represents the internal working timeline, established for the secure and controlled movement of liquidity across global financial ledgers. The successful and confirmed initiation of these initial transactions will validate the long-held belief of many about this currency's long-term potential. The evidence suggesting that this particular cycle is genuine is underpinned by 3 foundational confirmations that collectively elevate the current situation above all previous speculation. Firstly, Iraq has published its complete 2025 national budget, a document that reportedly incorporates new, internationally recognized rate mechanisms directly connected to the execution of the monetary revaluation process. Secondly, various international banks are now reportedly displaying live rate feeds, a definitive replacement for the old static values, signifying a genuine state of operational readiness. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, the Central Bank of Iraq itself has officially confirmed that the broader monetary reform program is now fully within its operational execution stage. This official statement moves the status from rumor or speculation into the realm of confirmed institutional policy. When these 3 elements, the budget, the live operational rates, and the official institutional confirmation, are viewed together, they paint a comprehensive picture of an Iraqi economy shifting decisively from a state of extended preparation into one of active execution. Insiders are now describing this as the crucial point of no return, where all complex systems are aligning. The published budget, the verifiable rates, and the necessary cross-border settlement protocols. This complete alignment is precisely why the 2-week window has become the focal point of the global financial world. For individuals who hold this currency, the recommendation from sources inside the process is clear. Remain highly vigilant, ensure all personal financial information is current and accurate, and be fully prepared to act decisively once formal, official notifications are released. The activation sequence is expected to begin with verified communications, such as secure emails or official instructions originating directly from authorized exchange platforms. These communications will guide holders through the process of scheduling their redemption appointment. During this secured appointment, individuals will be required to present necessary identification documents and their physical currency, followed by confirmation of their preferred method for receiving the disbursed value, such as a direct bank deposit, a wire transfer, or an account credit. The essential watchwords during this phase are security and methodical patience. It is absolutely critical for holders not to transfer their currency or personal data to any unverified source claiming to offer early or exclusive exchanges. The legitimate exchange process is explicitly structured to occur only through established, official banking channels, and not through any private individuals or third-party brokers. Protecting both the currency and personal identity remains paramount. Zooming into the internal dynamics of Iraq, a major technical milestone has been achieved with the Central Bank of Iraq officially connecting its core systems to the Buna regional payment platform. This specific integration is designed to allow real-time financial settlements between various Arab nations, and its completion was regarded as the final necessary prerequisite before the international financial community could grant full recognition to Iraq's new monetary structure. Furthermore, Iraq has been strategically moving toward using the dinar rather than the US dollar, for its oil and trade settlements with regional partners. This shift is a powerful signal of institutional confidence in the dinar's intrinsic value and stability. Iraqi media outlets have concurrently begun to utilize the phrase new monetary stage to describe this ongoing economic transformation. This terminology is widely understood to be an official reference to the processes of currency revaluation and subsequent stabilization. The simultaneous open discussion of this concept by both the national media and official government agencies strongly indicates that the fundamental shift in the dinar's economic standing is both real and actively underway, suggesting its official global acknowledgement is now highly imminent. Across the United States and global banking centers, internal operational reports suggest that major American financial institutions have placed their specialized currency exchange teams on high alert. Employees in key banking centers have reportedly been advised to prepare for extended working hours and have been issued updated training and procedural materials. This distinct pattern of operational readiness is a well-known precursor observed before virtually every major global currency event of this scale. These facilities are preparing for a significant increase in currency verification, new account setup, and large-scale digital settlement activities. A particularly telling technical detail is the extensive synchronization of global banks with ISO 2022, which is the international standard for digital payment messaging. This standard is what securely links currencies like the dinar to the international banking system. This deep level of synchronous uniform system integration means that the large-scale movement of liquidity is no longer a matter of theoretical possibility, but a question of precise timing. When both the Central Bank of Iraq and major global banking institutions are operating under the same, universally recognized technical standard, the final activation becomes a logistical certainty, rather than a theoretical ambition, focusing specifically on the insiders, the contract holders, and humanitarian program participants who constitute the initial processing tiers. Reports are circulating that their account statuses have transitioned from a pending state to active within the banking systems. In professional banking terminology, an active status signifies that the associated funds are not only verified, but have been pre-positioned and are currently awaiting the final release command. While this is not yet a full disbursement, it represents the definitive green light signal for the start of the liquidity flow. Historically, this precise operational stage is the immediate predecessor to the point where funds begin to cascade down to the subsequent tiers, including regular individual dinar holders. The confirmation of payments in this top-tier group acts as a swift trigger for the next wave of processing. This is a deliberate top-down sequence designed to ensure stability and to prevent any form of financial disruption or chaos during the transition. The reason this 2-week period is being labeled the final stretch is precisely because the initiation of funds release within this upper tier creates an immediate and irreversible ripple effect across every other holding tier. Looking forward at the next 14 days, practical preparedness is key for dinar holders. First, securely organize your currency, ensuring it is counted and readily accessible for when the exchange instructions arrive. Second, gather all necessary identification and verification documents, including your ID, proof of address, and other required credentials, as these will be mandatory at the exchange appointment. Third, it is prudent to establish your exchange strategy now. Determine precisely how much you plan to convert immediately and how much you may wish to retain for the future. Fourth, remain highly skeptical of any offers that seem overly exclusive, premature, or too good to be true. If the exchange is not explicitly conducted through a verified established banking institution, it must be considered illegitimate. Finally, maintain a strict reliance on credible, official financial updates and entirely disregard unverified rumors circulating on social media. Making the wrong, impulsive decision during this critical time could have severe financial consequences. The process is systematically designed to roll out in measured stages, not as a sudden, chaotic explosion of value. The broader context of Iraq's currency reform transcends local significance. It is increasingly viewed as a crucial component of a global financial realignment, which includes a documented trend toward asset-backed digital currencies. Countries such as Vietnam, Zimbabwe, and other Middle Eastern economies are also actively preparing for similar monetary transitions. Iraq, however, appears positioned to be the first to fully activate its transition because it has met the necessary international regulatory requirements ahead of others. This sweeping change is not solely focused on increasing a currency's numerical value. It is fundamentally about restoring national financial independence, full trade credibility, and genuine sovereignty. The world is closely observing the unfolding events in Iraq because this revaluation represents the first large-scale test case for a new global financial system rooted in verifiable assets. Once the dinar achieves its new stable exchange rate, it is anticipated to send a powerful, clear signal that comprehensive economic reform is not only achievable, but also entirely sustainable. The success of this move will serve as an essential model for other nations globally seeking to rebuild international trust and stability in their own currencies. The potential impact on global markets is considerable. Should the Iraqi dinar gain full recognized international standing, the expectation is for a significant increase in foreign trade flows, a surge in foreign direct investment, and a strengthening of its oil-backed reserve position. This could see Iraq re-emerge as a critical financial and economic hub within the Middle Eastern region. Global investors are already moving to position themselves for post-revaluation opportunities, ranging from infrastructure projects to real estate and major energy partnerships. As the dinar's value and stability solidify, it will naturally attract greater international attention, boosting regional confidence and reshaping the established balance of trade throughout the area. For those who have maintained their holdings, this moment may represent not only a potential financial gain, but also the tangible reward for extraordinary patience. For the nation of Iraq, it signifies a decisive step toward complete economic credibility and sovereignty on the world stage. Returning to the 2-week time frame, it is vital to maintain a clear understanding. This window is the projected starting point for the activation process, not the instant payout date for every single holder. Once the initial top-tier groups begin their processing, the essential liquidity starts to circulate actively through the system. Over the duration of those 14 days, more tiers are progressively brought online. It is designed as a continuous rolling activation. The central takeaway must be that this moment is the definitive beginning of execution, not another cycle of delay or a simple test phase. Real funds are beginning to move, financial systems are going fully live, and official communication is imminent. As we enter this critical countdown, a blend of excitement, skepticism, and hope is understandable, but maintaining a grounded perspective is essential. The scale of this financial process involves multiple sovereign governments, massive global financial institutions, and complex banking networks. While minor adjustments to the timeline may occur, the overarching direction is now clear. The currency transition is actively moving forward. Insiders are adamant that the confluence of signals this time is undeniable. The technical systems are fully operational. The rates are live and dynamic, and the institutional preparations are visible across the banking world. The 2-week clock is counting down, and once the process fully initiates, the global financial landscape is expected to look profoundly different. Looking beyond the immediate event, what follows the revaluation? Once the initial disbursements are completed and the new rate achieves stability, Iraq is poised to enter a period of profound economic expansion. Anticipate a new wave of international foreign investments, major infrastructure development, and significantly expanded trade partnerships. However, for individual holders, this post-event period is when sound financial judgment is most critical. Resist the urge to rush. Think strategically and long-term. Utilize any resulting gains to eliminate debt, invest wisely, and focus on building lasting generational financial stability. The true objective here is not quick profit, but the establishment of sustainable prosperity. It is also necessary to address the unfortunate reality that accompanies every major financial transition: the inevitable spread of misinformation and the emergence of fraudulent activity. Scammers will try to capitalize on the hype, and fake websites will appear promising unauthorized early payouts. Protect your assets rigorously. Never, under any circumstance, should you transmit your currency or private personal data to any entity outside of a verified official bank channel. The legitimate process will always be secure, transparently documented, and conducted officially. If an offer requires secrecy or employs high-pressure tactics, it is unequivocally not real. From a global perspective, the revaluation is far more than a financial reset. It is a profound symbol of Iraq's reclamation of its standing as a respected and authoritative economic power. After decades of conflict, sanctions, and immense reconstruction efforts, the nation is poised to step into a new economic era. The confirmed strength of the dinar will be a direct reflection of Iraq's newfound stability and economic potential. As more nations worldwide consider a move toward asset-backed systems, this successful event is intended to serve as a powerful model for others seeking to restore faith in their national currencies. The significance extends far beyond mere currency valuation. It represents a national revival. Picture the financial scene 2 weeks from now. Banking halls are actively buzzing, official confirmations are flowing, and currency holders are scheduling appointments. The global conversation about currency and wealth will be completely revolutionized, with every major financial network fixated on Iraq. This is a defining moment that could forever change how the world perceives the possibilities of currency transformation and the payoff of perseverance. For years, the idea of a significant revaluation faced widespread skepticism. Yet here we stand, observing a powerful chapter of financial history unfolding, one verifiable confirmation at a time. For those who have steadfastly held their currency through all the cycles of doubt and noise, your dedication and patience are now on the verge of being rewarded. As we approach this monumental, critical window, let this guiding principle be your focus. History does not simply repeat itself. It rewards those who remain prepared and vigilant. The essential financial systems are live. High-level sources are confirming the activation, and the countdown has officially begun. This is not the moment for any type of anxiety or panic. It is the time for unwavering focus. Get your affairs organized, stay alert, and wait for the release of verified official instructions. Every great financial shift often starts quietly, in the operational backrooms, before the rest of the world fully comprehends the magnitude of the change. This is precisely where we are right now, in the quiet period immediately before the storm. The possibility that once felt abstract is now concretely real. The signs are aligned, the confirmations are institutional, and the 2-week window has opened for action. You are witnessing financial history in motion. Stay tuned, because the next 14 days are poised to tell the story that many have waited years to hear.